Hello and welcome to the Daily Millwall for Sunday, the 15th of September 2024. In today's Millwall news, there is no Millwall news. So we jump straight into the stats from yesterday's game to get a video made. This is from whoscored.com. It's a match report from the game. You can see the top 5 in various categories on the right hand side. We have all of the top 5 rated players being Luton players. George Saville and Casper de North, for some reason, the two DMCs had the most shots. Bizarre. Most tackles from Joe Bryan. Interesting. And Romain Esse again. And our defenders were dribbling it. That's interesting. Let's have a look. What happened in this game then? Obviously, most of us have seen it by now. We've seen the highlights. But what actually happened in terms of the way the game was played, and could we have done better? And what went wrong? So, Millwall stole the ball often from the opposition, were effectively creating goal-scoring opportunities from set pieces, but we were poor at finishing, and we were caught offside often. We had a large quantity of possession in the opponent's half. We attacked down the right-hand side, and we favoured crossing the ball. So, the attempts. Millwall on the left, Luton on the right. 11 to 10, 2 to 6 open play, 9 to 3 set piece, 0 to 1 counter attack. That gives Luton Town a conversion rate of 10%. So pretty even. Like, we had a really good chance in Macaulay Langstaff one. If we would have scored that, would have been 1-1. Probably would have been fairer result than the result we got. I don't think we necessarily deserve to lose that game. But you know, you don't get nothing for free. You need to perform, and you need to stand up, and you need to take your chances, and we didn't quite do that. So as you can see, we were mostly going down the right hand side. Shot directions from the middle mostly. Shot zones. Action zones. And player positions, which is quite weird because we had various movements in terms of, obviously, Cooper went off and Coburn went off, and Romain Esse moved into the middle for a chunk of the game at the end. So you can't really see him there. I think he's behind number 23, which is George Saville. And so you can see it looks like we're playing without a centre back, because Tanganga's now, his average position was on the left, which is interesting. So there you go. So you got 39 is George Honeyman, and 21 is, that's Coburn, and 19 I think is Duncan Watmore. So there you go. Although no, actually I think Romain Esse, I think he is under number 39, because that's kind of ballooned out. And I think under 23 would be Jake Cooper. So there you go. But if we look at Luton, they seem to have surrounded the centre circle. You got 11, 14 and 18 on one side, and 20 and 13 on the other. They kind of overloaded that midfield area, which is means we have to kind of chuck an extra person in there, and kind of means we don't get to attack so much. Now moving on to this from, again, whoscored.com, is the match centre. We got the match events, obviously the goal after 10 minutes. Casper de North got booked on 22. We had a sub in the first half for us, and then sub at half time, and then the changes got made in 67 minutes, and then again we made extra changes because we were chasing the game by then, and they made one right at the end of the game. So if you look at the top left and top right by the club badges, you can see 6.44 for Millwall, 6.91 for Luton. That is the average player rating. So you can see they've just given it to Luton. That's not much of a difference, just under 0.5, so not the worst. And if we scroll down and look, man of the match is the geezer who scored the only goal in the game, Mengi, 7.9. But then if you go to Mill's side, what we got Joe Bryan 6.9, we've got Tanganga 6.8. And then most of the rest of the team around the 6.5 mark. We just got Watmore 6.2, Coburn 6.2. And interestingly, Hutchinson got 6.7, which is more than Cooper got. He got 6.4 in the first half. So, let's take a look and see. So, a crowd of 14,804. Total shots, 11 to 10. And, wow. None of the front four had a shot on target. Or had a shot. This is shots overall. So none of the front four had a shot. The only one who did was Langstaff, who came off the bench and replaced Coburn. As you can see, as we saw before, Denor with 3 shots, Saville with 3. Why are our shots being taken by the 2 holding midfielders? That's kind of weird. Possession-wise, 51 to 48 in favour of Millwall. Which again is another factor in that it seems that whenever we have more possession, we don't win the game. It kind of like messes us up. So, oh, we've got the ball. Now we have to do something with it. And you can see, even though we did have just slightly more possession, if you look in terms of players who had the most time on the ball, you're looking at Ryan Leonard, 7.2% of the match possession, and Mengi with 6. Pass success percentage, 74-69. So you got Joe Bryan with 80, Denor with 83. Then you got Coburn with 25. Obviously wasn't on the pitch that long. Saville with 64. But then you look at Luton and it's the front 3 have got 71, 75, 70. The 2 in midfield have got 84 and 88. Dribbles 3 to 4. Aerials 1, 21 to 17. Tackles 22 to 18. So we had more tackles than them. Bryan with 4. SA with 4. And then 4 other players with 2. Corners 6 to 4. So these are players who won the corners. And dispossessed, having the ball taken off of you, 13 to 13. Watmore 5, SA 3. Yeah, they were kind of crowded out, weren't they? They kind of got they weren't very effective up front in that game yesterday. Now, moving on to this, which is a list version of what we've just seen, but it's got a little bit more. So if we sort by rating, Joe Bryan 6.89. I would never give him. I would never have thought about that he would have a higher score. Tango's 6.83, who I think was my man of the match, really, 6.83. Interestingly, Lucas Jensen 6.68. He did make quite a few saves in that game. Sean Hutchins 6.7. So he came off the bench, only played half the game, and was our 3rd best player. And then Ryan Leonard, number 5. If we go down, you can see the bottom 4 are all of the subs, which is how it should be, because if you got less time on the pitch, you should have a lower score. But then that kind of, when you bring someone of quality on, and they have less time on the pitch and they get a higher score than the player that they've replaced, that shows you that they're a really good player. And you can see here Sean Hutchinson in third. He replaced obviously Jake Cooper, who is, where is he at? Is he on here? Where's he gone? Oh, number 10. So you got a score of 6.35 in that first half, and you got Sean Hutchinson 6.7. So interestingly, how long's Jake Cooper out for? Obviously, he brings a bit of height into the team, which we need for set pieces. Obviously, we had 9 set pieces in this game. Didn't really do anything from them. I wonder how many we had in the first half compared to the second half. But obviously, Sean Hutchinson from that corner nearly scored. He got it on target. Forced the keeper to make a save, which is all you can do. As you can see, he's had one shot on target, and that's what you need to do. Could we be seeing an upgrade to our defence now? If we play Tanganga and Hutchinson, if we're forced to do that, is that an upgrade in terms of defending? But obviously, you lose the aerial threat. And now, especially if Coburn's not playing and Macaulay Langstaff has to play, the aerial threat has totally gone. So we'll have to find another way to score some goals, which would be interesting. So let's have a run through all this stuff. Offense, we had, was it 11 shots, they said? So we had 11 shots. Bizarrely, again, Casper and De Saville had the most shots. But how many shots were on target? Those 11? 3. Well, that's not good, is it? That's not good at all. Offsides, we were apparently offside a lot. 3 times offside. Yeah, that is a lot. That is a lot in this day and age. 3 times offside. Okay, so let's move on to defensive stuff. See who did all of the work. Joe Bryan with 4 tackles. Romanis with 4 tackles. Leonard, Casper, George Honeyman, and Duncan Warren with 2. Interceptions, George Saville with 4. Casper Lenore with 3. Tanganga with 1. Clearances, a lot of clearances. Sean Hutchinson with 4. So that's why he's got a high score. In 45 minutes, he had 4 clearances. And you got Tanganga with 3, Joe Bryan with 3, Romanis with 2, Leonard with 2, George Honeyman with 2. How many block shots? 1. So let's see if we can see. This is Luton. So they had 10 shots, yeah? How many were on target? It looks like a lot. 4, 5, 6. Damn. So yeah, that's interesting. So they had 10 shots, 6 on target. And then they scored 1 goal. So we did well to keep them out. So that was a good performance from Jensen in terms of making all those saves with those shots on target. And one of the shots was blocked. That meant 1 went in, 1 was blocked, 4 was saved. So we did do well defensively. It's just we weren't at 100%. We move on to the passing. Who had the most passes? Ryan Leonard, Casper Lenore, Tanganga, Joe Bryan. So again, other than Casper Lenore, the defense, which is so in terms of accuracy, you've got to give it to Casper there. 83% off of 42 passes. That's not bad. Joe Bryan 80 off of 30. And then we go down to diminishing returns. But here you go, Sean Hutchinson, 86.4 for 22 and a half a game. Again, I think he's after getting dropped, coming in and having those first 3 games are really ropey. Not from him, but from the team mainly. He's come in now and he's like, I think he's figured it out. Like, got to make a bit of an effort because you're not automatic choice anymore. Although if Cooper is injured, he's going to have to come in, isn't he? So let's have a look at crosses and accurate crosses. George Saville 5 and 2, 5 and 1 from Messe, 5 and 3 from Honeyman, 4 and 1 from Joe Bryan. Long balls and accurate long balls. So Ryan Leonard 15 to 7. So Ryan Leonard had more long balls than Lucas Jensen, who was taking the goal kicks. So interesting. So Lucas Jensen overall had 26 passes, 14 long balls. So that would give you a number of 12 short passes. And the passing accuracy, that means the passing accuracy is up to 61. Okay, so there you go. And then we're going to move on to this so we can get a bit more detail. This is from fbref.com. It's the XG. We out XG'd them. We had 1.0 and they had 0.6. So again, a 1-1 scoreline would have been fairer than the 1-0 loss that we had. But you need to put your chances away. As we've seen, possession 52 to 48, passing accuracy 71 to 67. So we had more passes as well, 270 for 384. They had 235 of 350. Shots on target 3 of 11. For them 6 of 10 as we've just seen. Saves, so that means 5 of 6 and 3 of 3. And go down here, how many fouls? Yeah, Luton, 20 fouls. Could have been a hell of a lot more blown up as for as well. So would you say that they out-Millwalled us? Like, we tried to play and they tried to anti-play. They tried to not play. 8 to 20 fouls, 6 to 4 corners, 26 to 10 crosses, 517 to 468 touches of the ball, 22 to 18 tackles, 8 to 14 interceptions, 21 to 16 aerials won, 18 to 36 clearances, 3 to 0 offsides, 3 to 14 goal kicks. Damn, so we only had 3 goal kicks in that whole game. And we gave them 14. So basically, we're kicking the ball out at the end of the pitch, and having shots that are going off target. Throw-ins 28 to 18, and long balls 76 to 76. So we've got all these numbers here. What does it mean? One thing I wanted to draw up was carries and progressive carries. So carries, number of times the ball controlled the ball with their feet. And progressive carrying, a number of times that the player moved the ball towards the goal line at least 10 yards from its furthest point in the last 6 passes, or any carry into the penalty area. What more? 22 and 0. So you got on the ball 22 times, didn't take it more than 10 yards at once. Roman say 30 and 1. So they were getting tackled, they were getting caught, they were getting jammed up, they were losing the ball. George Honeyman 16 and 0. So again, that front three wasn't working. So should we have seen changes earlier? Because Femi Aziz, when he came on, did make a difference. 12 and 4. And when did he come on? 67 minutes. Like, maybe changes should have come earlier. I imagine, obviously we lost the striker, so we couldn't have gone 2 up front. We couldn't have played little and large. We couldn't have just pumped up long balls to Coburn and got Macaulay and Langsdorff to feed off him. So we basically had to stick with the formation that we had. It wasn't really working, was it? And again here, look, you got Joe Bryan 18 and 1. You got Callum Scanion 6 and 3. Although to be fair, I would say for the last 15 minutes of that game, Luton were defending quite deep. They were letting Millwall come forward, but they just kind of, once they got into that final third, then they were dealing with it. So these stats may be skewed by that. And when you see Femi Aziz 12 and 4 progressive carries, he was allowed to come forward with the ball, but not when he got into the danger zone. Then whoa, what's going on here? You know what I mean? And if we look at that as well, you can see that if we go to SCA, shot creating action, 0 and 0. So shot creating action, goal creating action. Obviously we didn't score, but shot creating action, none. So he did have more progressive carries for me as is, but he didn't end up creating any shots. But when you look at Duncan Watmore, he helped create 3 shots. Hyman helped create 2. And then we've got Romanes, they didn't help create any shots really, according to this. And there you go. So if we go on to the passing, interestingly to note that the short passing was off. So short passing, according to this website, is classed as between 5 and 15 yards, which 15 yards, that's quite a distance. You call that a short pass, especially when they got medium here as well and long. I would understand if it was short and long, but they've got medium. So what's a medium pass? Medium is between 15 and 30 yards. But if you look at the accuracy here, like on the short passing, it's not too good. It's not too good. Like I said, they were getting pressed. They couldn't really play with each other. They weren't connecting to each other. In terms of Watmore, SA and Honeyman weren't really working. So Watmore, you got 60%, 3 of 5, 3 completed of 5 attempts. SA 9 and 12, that's 75. That's not too bad really. But then you go down, Femi's is 2 and 3. George Saville 7 and 11 on the short passing. Tanganga 4 and 7, 57.1. So there you have that. But then you get into the medium pass and it kind of drops down even worse. Although weirdly, Warborn's 5 and 5, so he's 100% on his medium passing. So there you go. You've seen that. But not only in terms of passing, but progressive distance. Progressive distance again, going towards your opponent's goal line. So this is the total yards of passing. If we look at Macaulay Langsouth, his total yardage of passing on 9 passes was 103 yards. 38 of that was forwards. But then you look at SA, 285, 99. Well, you're not really going forward with the ball, passing it forward, because obviously there's not really anyone ahead of you, is there? They had to go sideways. You got Honeyman 254, 111. It's not really. When you get to the defenders, that should be even higher, but it's not. So you think if you're at the back, the only way to go is fucking forward. Like, where else are you going? But Tanganga, 721 yards of passing, only 162 of it was forwards. And what are we doing here? Just fucking around, passing it around. Pass types. Okay. Alright, we'll skip that one. Defensive actions. Possession. So possession, take on. So obviously if they're not passing the ball, maybe they're running with it, maybe they're dribbling with it. Well, yeah, but not really. So take-ons. Number of attempts to take on defenders while dribbling. Duncan Whitmore. 4 attempts. How many were successful? 0. How many times was he tackled trying to do that? Once. So he got tackled once and gave the ball away 3 times doing that. Trying to dribble past someone. And then you got SA 3 and 1. And Honeyman 0 and 0, so he didn't even try. Although Femia's is 2 and 0. He got tackled twice. So again, see, we're not passing the ball forward and we're not running forward with it, trying to dribble past players. And in terms of carries, so if we look over here on carries, it's the same. So getting on the ball and then running with it. And then progressive distance is, okay, you run with it. Did you run forwards with it or did you run sideways with it? And you can look here, Romain, let's say 120. So this is, again, these numbers are like really bad. Like 30 carries for 121 yards. That's like 4 yards. It was like 4 yards per carry, no? That's not good at all. Like every time he only made it 4 yards when he was on the ball. And I'm digging him out because the other players are not that good either. The forward players, like as we saw, they didn't even have a shot, so we know like they were really bad. 22, like all of them together were bad, like the whole unit, the whole front line. So I don't know if they were told to play a different way because it was Luton or what's going on. Or whether Luton just kind of did a job on them and it worked. 22.94, only progressive distance of 20 for Watmore. Ado Mamaku got on the ball twice for 5 yards. 2 of those yards were forward. George Honeyman, 16 carries for 43 yards. 16 yards was forwards. Like these numbers are bad. They're really, really bad. Like, we didn't pass the ball forwards and we didn't run the ball forwards. So yeah, that's not good, is it? In terms of aerial duels, obviously Macaulay Langstaff, the new Bradshaw, he lost 2 aerial duels, didn't win a 1. Romain Esse again didn't win 1 out of 3. They're not doing too well here. Okay. So if we move down to the goalkeeping stats, you can see shots on target against 6, goals against 1, so he made 5 saves. That's a save rate of 83.3. The post shot XG was 1.6. So there's little he could do with that. Obviously, it was placed into the corner and he was onside. In terms of launched in, so passes longer than 40 yards, 13 of them, 3 of them were completed. That's a 23.1% accuracy rate. 5 throws, 28 good kicks, 35.7 of them were launched, and the average length was 37 yards. Well, that's not good, but that includes his short kicks as well. So goal kicks, we only had 3, 100% of them were long, 69.7 yards long. Crosses, the opponent crossed into our area 9 times. He didn't come out for any of them, stayed back on his line. Although, to be fair, the cross that kind of led to the goal, when him and Joe Bryan went for the same one, whose fault was that? Did he shout? Obviously, it was in front of the away stand, so I don't know, but if you can see on the highlights, like, you can see if someone's shouting or not. I don't think he did. So he needs to learn to fucking speak up. He needs to be more vocal. Or shout something in Danish to scare the shit out of everyone. Skull or something, I don't know. Skull? Is that a Danish word? Or is it Swedish? This is a list of the shots. We're going to finish on this so you can see. So the shot there, 0.04. Before it was taken, basically a shot from 25 yards with 25 yards out on the right foot would have been a goal, 4 in every 100. After the shot was taken, considering where everyone else was on the pitch, that would have been 0.68, which is just lower than a penalty kick. A penalty kick's 0.8, so that was pretty much going in. Not really much you can do about that. In terms of, Millwall's chances, not very good at all. Our first shot was George Saville got blocked. Jay Cooper, 9 yards out, off target. George Saville again, left-footed, blocked from 24 yards out. Casper Denor, 36 yards out, got saved. But you can see the XG went down. So, like, it was lower. Because it was 36 yards out, like, there's no chance, like, the chance of that going is very low, and after it was shot, it was even lower. It literally dropped by half, or 100%, from 0.02 to 0.01. So these are the chances we're having. Like, then there are no chances. Our chances are fucking dog shit. And then Casper Denor again, Casper Denor and Saville taking the shots. 0.05, but it was off target from 19 yards of his right foot. And then Tanganga from 10 yards out of his head, off target. Second half, again, nothing, just garbage shots. 29 yards out, right foot, Casper and Denor again. And guess what? Here we go again, George Saville. Why are they the only ones shooting? Where the fuck is everyone else? Where is everyone? 0.08 XG from 11 yards out with his left foot, blocked. And then you can see Luton have a shot 62, Luton have a shot 75. And you know what happens? They drop back, they start to defend. And then, now we have some chances. We have some decent chances. The best chance of the game, Macaulay Langstaff 0.57. It went up slightly after he kicked it from 0.66. That was saved. I thought he missed it, to be honest. I didn't see the save. It's just on the television afterwards when you see the highlights and you say, oh, he hit a toe. So, oh man, no, that was a save. Because I thought he messed it up. But no, he got saved. And then Maku, that one, where I think he was kind of caught between trying to shoot and trying to put it across the goal. Just didn't really do anything, just hit him and went out. So I think that's kind of generous to say that was a shot. And then Sean Hutchinson, and you can see that was a chance that got better. You can see before it was taken 0.03, after he headed it 0.30. So that was a really good chance that the goalkeeper had to save, and it was saved. So there you go. That's it. I mean, why did Casper Lenore and George Saville taking all the shots? What happened to the front three? Why were they ineffective? Why were they not passing to each other? Why were they not dribbling forward? What was going on? They seemed to be not working together, not acting in unison. They were all kind of independent, not really getting involved. So we wait to see. They'll obviously QPR away next week. And obviously I think that's a smaller pitch, so we'll see how that goes. But I would imagine the state that QPR are in, that should be a winnable game, but we wait to see. We do wait to see. And on that note, thank you for watching, and goodbye.